Hello friend and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East. Last episode I was busy with that reorganization, and I think this today we should be continuing with that. I want to switch the priority on some of these for a bit. Alright, there we go. Yeah, so let's continue with the 4th Panzer Army, as much as they have panzers, which is none, if everything is as it's supposed to be. None and none. Oh, hey. Some of those Stug battalions are pretty powerful too, so it's, I don't want to say it's good that they don't have them anymore, but they should be under Corps command, if you ask me. And I don't have that many Corps that have Stug, so there should be some definite change once we can do that. Okay. For artillery, these 2 Stug battalions should go, just like 2 of the Pioneer battalions and a construction battalion. But let's see if I have to divide them up here. So first of all, 56 Panzer Corps needs another artillery. So there we have it. And all the other ones have 4 artillery. There are quite a few units here that need to be sent up the chain, but for now let's send the heavy howitzer over to Army Group Center, since I think Army Group South will most likely have enough. I can also send both of those Pioneer units. I believe I was missing one here in the 50th Corps. It's unlikely I'll be able to send it there. Yeah, indeed. So then I might as well send it to the 18th Army. So I can divide it there next turn. Besides that, all of these guys have nothing that they can distribute at the moment, and 4th Panzer Army is completely empty too. Let's make sure that these guys are locked. And they are. 9, 9, 9, and 8. 28. 30. That's because of the split up. Okay. Now the last of them all for Army Group North, the 16th Army. And yeah, they're severely overburdened. Technically I would need to send something to Army Group Center. Because if they, on the other hand, if they take 27, they're going to get to 98. I can still set 1 unit to assault, and yeah, the question is, which unit would that then be? I already have both of my Panzer armies and 6th Army are now in assault mode, and then the question is, which other army will need that? Well, we'll have to see. At any rate, let's take a look at you. So these guys have one too little flak, no engineers. Well, let's actually take a look at the units itself. You technically need to reorganize. Ah, that was a big difference. I think, though, I can push into these two hexes at least. These guys always look a lot more powerful than they are in actuality. The tricky part, though, is here. So I want to do this. This way they're all at least marginally powerful. Yeah, you're at 10 out of 9 now, but there's nothing to do. There's of course the mess of the first core. These guys are also overburdened. One thing I can do here is put one part of this under the 20th. Nope. Come on. Okay. Well, that was lame. I'll have to redo that then. Next turn, of course, because you cannot take that back for whatever reason. Anyway, first corps still has one unit in the Luftwaffe Jaeger regiment. They push me back here. It's unlikely that I can actually get in there, given these guys with a rifle corps and 2 rifle divisions there. They're just gonna attack me with 50k again and kill me. At any rate, I should divide this a bit better. So this should go to the 18th, and this too, because we already know that the 18th doesn't have a lot of Stuks, and I want each corps at least to have a Stuk battalion. And these guys have one too much artillery, so let's send that at least to the first. The first needs a lot less, obviously, but they still need some. And let's send this pioneer over to Army Group Center, where I'm sure they'll be put to somewhat better use than this. Put them all on lock. Okay, that's fine. And what this also means is that now, at least I've recovered that that river line again, which we held earlier. The interesting thing too is that if they don't put units here now, I can technically like swing south from here, which is interesting. Okay, that was Army Group North. How overburdened is Army Group Center? Quite a bit, 125. The Army Group Center has 2nd Army. As it is, what I could do is I could put 2nd Army under Army Group B. Yeah. And what that does is Army Group B is slightly overburdened now. But I can probably give some to these guys. I just have to reorganize that a little bit over the course of the next few turns. But it does mean that Army Group Center is now no longer overburdened, which is good. This one should be under Army Group A. And let's just put this one under Army Group B. It doesn't really matter. I know this one is technically lower than the other one, but they're all just working on that. Right, so now that we know that that's okay. What can I do here? Now, first of all, I'll take this. And the interesting part is that they get to move quite a bit too. This is clear terrain, which makes it dangerous. Now, I certainly want to get up with you. Both are empty. Let's take a look at what they might have, so it might get taken out. The support units. Already took those. You have none. The problem is that there are quite a few units along this line which are quite weak as well. It's just the fact that they have slightly more units means that I will refit you. I'm also gonna get these guys back. As much as I would really want to, I just don't think this army is ready to substantially push forward yet, despite the apparent weakness of the enemy in this location. They don't even have the strength, technically, to attack this. They've been out of supply for one turn. Maybe next turn I can try, but it doesn't look like an excellent opportunity. Let's take a look at the support unit situation, which is interesting to say the least. Where's the third? It's here. Well, this 2 strength is currently too weak as well. I haven't seen the AI attack a lot here, which is why I can kind of do this, but okay, so the 43rd Corps doesn't have a Werfer. Let's do that. And it seemed to me like the 57th Panzer Corps also doesn't have it, so let's do that too. At least. So then they all have a Werfer battalion. These have only 2 construction units, and then this one has 4. This is the 39th Panzer Corps. Let's send that. There we go. 2 Pioneers. I think for the moment 2 Pioneers, it's not that big of a problem, but the 39th has 0. Yeah, I can't actually ship them or swap them, so you have 3 AA. A lot, and also quite a lot. The regular corps don't need more than 3, so I would be sending those at the very least just Army Group Center level for a start. And I did have 3 artillery for all the regular corps type units. Now this is a Panzer Corps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's send 2 flag battalions back. So I have 6. The rest goes into center. And let's send the heavy howitzers over to that Panzer Corps there. Because, you know, they can have a little more. As a Panzer Corps, especially, I think also in terms of support units, I think they should maybe have like a double what a regular corps has. Even these are smaller though, so they might need a little bit less. Let's send at least then 2 artillery to the other Panzer Corps here. The heavy cannons, it's 105. Because these are a bit smaller. Okay, so let's divide it already a little bit more equally. Technically you can get in there so they can move, but it's debatable whether that's actually good, I think. Yeah, I might just have to take it easy a little bit there. Okay, that's the 3rd Panzer Army. What's in here? 3 howitzers. There is another corps here, namely the 47th Motorized Core, which I believe has practically everything here. Yeah, it's also overburdened. Let's have the 57th Motorized Core move in here and put you under its wing. I mean 57th Panzer Corps, of course. So that you're also not overburdened. Let's take a look at what they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they need 1 additional artillery at least, this Motorized Corps. But I might have it under individual units. So let's take a look. Probably not, given by the looks of it, but... okay, they have some flak. Yeah. Panzerjäger Battalion. Seems quite random. Whatever was available was put under those units. Okay, that's that. 17th also has some flak. Motorized Brigade, Motorized Brigade. Okay, they don't have anything. 2.3. Okay, so there are no extra things there. You need at least 1 more artillery. The 47th Motorized. Let's send that. And these will be sent to Army Group Center, since I for sure don't need them there. And then you will be placed under the 47th Panzer Corps, because they also did not have any Werfers yet. They will... oh crap. It was the... I sent it to the 57th, and this is the 47th, right? Ha ha ha. Okay, great. I'm gonna have to continue with those guys after I've tried to clear as many units here as possible. Right, I want to start here by taking a look at all 3 of these. I want them to keep that, but this Romanian cavalry division will go to the 4th Romanian Army. That's, yeah. I do want these guys to do a heavy attack or deliberate attack across the river here. I don't really care that they retreat. The thing is just that I need to clear this area, which is going to be extremely hard because of those heavy fortifications here and here, and this army cannot cross the river for the moment, so that makes it especially difficult. One other thing is the 251st and the 329th are exceptionally weak and need to refit behind the lines. The 9th Army is doing especially poorly as well, in general, in regards to its units. These guys look relatively weak, but it would not surprise me if they actually have some serious firepower yet. But at 3... oh, I missed one. Okay, well, at least they surrendered. That's good. Now, I don't expect to be able to beat this rifle corps and this rifle corps. They seem to be altogether too powerful for these forces to beat this turn. In fact, I'll most likely get some of these off of the line for this turn as well. They could still do a heavy attack here with those units, but I will have to see. I also really don't like how those 2 rifle divisions look there. So I might also just send these guys down to that side. At the bare minimum, I need you, and even now I might not be able to do it, but I'll involve you. Insane. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Let's do that though. That. And 172, eh? Yeah. Let's move you off of the line. These will also be difficult to beat. Level 2 fortifications are not my... Huh. Okay. Oof. That started to look a bit scary. Yeah, so... This is, of course, altogether another problem. Okay, they surrendered. Good. Because the core type units are one of the hardest to beat. Of course, the fact that they're in that hex, it doesn't help me there. Let's take a look where they are. They're divided like that, and I'm sure they have a unit there too. This is a pretty big pocket. These units are again quite exhausted. I'm 100% sure these guys will be able to break through some of this stuff next turn though. So it's not as if there isn't a time limit on it. Or something along those lines, unless I can say encircle them. But I don't want to get too hasty with any assumptions or anything along those lines there. Let's see. Okay. So those other hexes are empty. That's good. That much for the obvious attack there. There would have to be these, and these in order to be able to get through with panzers. The question is that gonna be possible? Well, maybe. That they're not routing certainly isn't helping, and the fact that they retreated right across the river isn't helping either. In fact, I would say it's a major issue in my strategy. They got out. Last is these. Crud. How about this? Yeah. I can reorganize that later, but what I want to do is I need to use a soft attack here. Push them back. That's all I need. I need a push back into this position. Because this is 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. If I push this back, that should allow me to then move these in there. All I need to do is push them back. No, I can actually move them up if I beat those, so... Let's get these two there. Certainly getting them off of the line now that I can. Same will apply for the light division. Sure, yeah. If I can move them up, that's great. And these guys are not gonna attack anyway. Like, they've already been weakened quite a bit. Taking Voronezh now is not a priority since it's behind my lines. It can starve for a bit before the Hungarians attempt an assault or something along those lines. There is no rush for it. This is interesting too. If I can beat these, I need 10 to attack across the river. So I get 8. Nah, that's not good enough. I could take this hex by moving in here. 5, and then I can potentially, maybe, I don't think I can get in there, no. Other units that can do a heart attack is you. And then I'm kind of full. So I need these 3. I'll take some support units, why not? Ah, crap. Okay. I'm sure they'll be a bit weaker, but the fact that they are so uncooperative is kind of bad. You're out. I'll have to see whether I'm gonna cross. Yeah, crossing here and then attacking them must be better. Yeah, okay, so push back. And now they're part of 22nd, so 22nd actually cannot move that much. This is 9th. I have to move my units individually because this is not... How far can you go? Really? Only... Oh, that's the wrong one. 14. Jeez. 11, 8, 5, 2. They can only go to here. That means I have to move down like this. Like there's no way I can do a full encirclement at that point. Because let's see, 33. So it's like 14, 11, 8, 5, 3. They can go in here. I cannot even... Okay, I can technically encircle this group here after all that effort. Huh. Okay, well. Maybe they're doing a bit better. Yes, they are. Okay. Let's start here, because certainly I want to have you in here. And you in there. The back to 1. Okay, fine. Yeah, if they could take one of those places, that would have been nice. Yeah, you can't even cross. I have that cavalry there. And Let's see how far you can go. Quite far in actuality. Much further than I expected them to be able to go. Which is interesting because that makes moving these up here also a lot better. If I move them like this, even more so. Because then they still have this too, yeah. And these guys are now also encircled, at least for this turn. The big trouble for the Soviets here, in that sense, I think, is that I mean, they can move their tank units there, actually. Like, yeah, I get that. But they cannot really rail units in there. Like, this is the closest. The fact that they have so many tank corps, and then they put 20 tanks in each tank corps, personally, I find this a bit silly, but... I guess it's a good strategy to create a lot of mobility. So yeah, that works, I guess. At any rate, I will withdraw back to the other side of the river and or move like this. So there's no reason for me to really hold on to everything here with that much now that we got this encirclement. And rather, I really want to reinforce these units than anything else in order to make sure that I can keep going. I'll use the 62nd though to keep some lines, but then I definitely want these also to move up here to hold them off at that point. Yeah, I'll put as many units into this part as possible too. I know there's only one cavalry here. It will be easier for them to break it at that side, but... let's move back, because this doesn't really serve a whole lot of purpose now. Because they'll be able to beat me there any which way. I could have potentially attacked this naval infantry brigade. I can still do that. Ah, okay. No, only Italians were able to attack. No, that was not gonna work then. Indeed. That sucks. Yeah, alright. They would also need to re-plug that line, so it's also pretty interesting in that aspect. I'll keep that there for the moment, just like this. These are, again, weak, but... what I'll do is I do want to keep them in there to hold that. And like I said, I don't necessarily need to defeat these guys immediately. That can take its time. And I'll certainly take my time with it too. Okay, well, let's start then over here. So I want you under the 7th. And there will be 4 units down there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll take those. And there, that. 3rd Hungarian should start here. 3rd Hungarian, 3rd Hungarian, and 3rd Hungarian. Nope. Okay, that is not what I wanted. Now they're even more overburdened, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So they should be taking that. The 8th Hungarian Corps is at 8. Let's take this. Now they're at 9. You're at... oh yeah, okay, so you should be put on the 4th. And you too. Wait a minute. 3rd and... they should be getting those, and then... you should be under the 4th. What are you part of? 8th? Which means I will always have one that's overburdened, technically. But I'd rather have the 3rd Hungarian Corps overburdened on the next turn. Yeah. If we take a look at Soviet numbers now, they're 3.449. Okay. One thing that I can do, beat them. Those are just some decent odds, so I can do some serious damage. This core is looking pretty well. I know that they're overburdened, but this would be 12. And then this would go back to 11. Why are they overburdened then? I guess it must be very tricky for them to have... yeah, it must cost more to have non... non-German units. You have only those two, and you have these. And then what do you have? Those two. Huh. That's surprisingly well, but what I can do, I need to take off one unit, so let's put you under the 12th. 12th Corps. Like this. Yeah, sure. And if I move them there, then this unit can also move, but if they move in here, that's a little bit better for them. I will move you up the Starry Oscar. Makes a bit more sense. There we go. They seem to have more units in there too. The interesting thing here, yeah, I kind of just need to get them off of the line, get them to regain some points here, get them a bit more powerful, because 2nd Panzer Army under current conditions is kind of a joke. Let's take a look at excess support units. Yeah, like that. I'll keep them with you because they'll be going to 3 or 2, which would be quite bad. One thing I could do, which might actually be pretty reasonable, is just to attack this and then do bam, bam, bam. And then I also have these. After putting you in there. This might actually get them up to 2. Yeah. Again, it doesn't constitute much, but I think any units that I get to encircle, it will help me over time. And the Soviets are already getting quite low. Now, obviously, I only have like 6 more turns before I need to have the prerequisite amount of points. And I'm not there yet. That's for sure. I mean, it's getting very close, but getting Tambov, for example, doesn't cut it. Like, I technically have Vornish, but getting Tambov doesn't cut it. So even if I take Tambov, I still need either of those two, or Stalingrad, or Ryazan, within the upcoming 6 turns, that is. So things are still tricky for a bit. These are so incredibly weak that I am at a loss. But if they can beat them and they'll just stay there, maybe that helps a little bit. The thing then, for me at this point, is I shouldn't have moved you. Well, okay, let's keep him there then. Is I need serious consolidation. So shortening the lines a bit and just yeah, retreating in a way. I've some good zone of control here, but the problem is if these guys were to move up, that would become a problem. So I'll keep them like that. Let's move you back a bit. I'll keep refitting that 8th SS Brigade. Let's also create a depot here, but make it 3. Actually, all of these should be high priority. Depot here. And I'll create a depot here. Okay, so that helps a little bit. They've been broken up, and this is slightly more useful now. I need this 3rd motorized here to also deal with these units, and I don't think they can do anything but attack you, because they're quite powerful. If they even make it, they don't. Which puts me in a slightly problematic position. If I do this, then without them I should be able to attack that. And do that. So I also have some distance between these two, makes it a little bit harder for them to attack. no contact between any of these. They will all have to reorganize. These guys need to get back to the actual depot. Okay, that means that my lines around Chula aren't looking absolute worst, while I still need to beat these guys. And let's get you off the line. You... no, let's see here, because there's this one. They all have to be there. Technically, these guys too. Like, I think I can take care of all these pockets here on the next turn. That'll be fine. Do that first, and first. And now yeah, you know, let's do this. That makes the line a bit more solid. If you can even talk of it like that. Alright. Once again, I see that my time is up. So I'll be wrapping things up here. And we'll see what the future turns bring. I still have 6th Army, 4th Panzer Army left to go. Still need to do substantial reorganization with these armies. But we're getting there, I suppose, and like I said, the Soviets are fielding substantially less forces now, which is very interesting. They're getting very close even to the amount of forces that the Germans are fielding by themselves, once again. I wonder if we can already see that here. Probably not. Total men, no, we don't see it yet, but if they dive even further, that'll be very interesting to see, as we almost then approach the numbers that they had during July or early July, which is the same for us. We have the same, we actually have slightly more forces on the battlefield now than we did back then. So that is quite interesting as it is. All right, a crazy battlefield it is too, I think. Very interesting. Anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.